problems at our house here in the Oaks. But I don't know.
See, and I'm here in the city of Clearlake, and that is one thing that I rarely have an issue with, DirecTV or my internet.
See, and that's good. And
yeah.
ours just randomly flexes, and it's been fine all day. And then I went to go check a few things, and then it shut off twice on me. I'm like, I'm not even gonna play this game with you. We've got a meeting in a half hour. I'm just gonna run home and then come back. I wonder, is it just us right now?
Bruno is not, you can't see him, but he's on the call. Melissa.
Okay, Melissa's there.
And I.
Hey.
Hello.
I just had to go get some coffee.
Yeah.
How come I can't see? I usually I could see myself. Can everyone see me?
Mm-mm.
No, we can't.
Should I leave and come back?
No,
yeah.
You should be able to. There's a little camera thing, Bruno.
I know where the camera thing's supposed to be, but it's not there.
That's weird. So it says for panelists, it says that like I'm there, Melissa's there, and Steph's there, but then you're under attendees and it only shows a microphone next to you. It doesn't show the video. That's interesting.
I feel so rejected.
You're right.
I'm gonna leave and come back. I'm gonna leave and come back. Bye.
Bye-bye. I just noticed that, so I don't know if it was something, but maybe.
Oh, okay.
And it says that Bob, Bruno, David, Joan, and Wilda are attendees, but I don't see anyone.
Well, I haven't seen Wilda Shopkin forever.
Maybe it's something where they like added everyone. Who knows? We'll see.
Okay, let's see.
Okay.
Okay. Is there a way to give me video?
Just a sec.
Hey, I'm normal now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so Dirk won't be here today. He's not able to make the meeting, so sorry for the late start.
That's okay.
No worries.
So I guess it's me then, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's call the meeting, Clearlake Marketing Committee meeting to order. And so as you guys can see, I'm here with Melissa because my computer would not work. So, so do we want to start with public comment then?
Sure. Is there? Yeah.
Is there any public comment online? Bruno?
So I just wanted to say that I had a conversation with John Widener, who is one of the welding shops here in the city of Clearlake. And we had talked to him a while ago about doing the picture frame over in Austin Beach. I think we need to take that project seriously if we want to make that project happen by finding the exact area that we think is the right picture frame position so he could come take a look at it and figure out exactly what kind of stand he's going to need to create and what kind of what will solidify the picture frame within that area. And so I think we need to push for that if that's still something that we want to do. He's still offering free labor and we just pay him for the metal that is used.
Do we want to maybe set up a time where we all meet over there, or do we want to set up a couple of you guys to do that and make a decision? Like
a little subcommittee and then coming back and continuing the work on that?
Right.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, because I think you're right. I think we need to make a decision on this. I'd like to have it decided before the end of the year so that we can next year we can have a fresh project, insight for the community to see that we're still moving forward on these things. So
right.
Is there anybody volunteering to be on that committee? Bruno?
I will.
Okay. Steph,
We'll go
okay.
take a long walk on the beach together.
All righty.
And you know, if I'm available, Bruno, if you guys let me know when you're gonna do it, I'll go with you too.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right, so moving on, discussion of creating a marketing survey. So, so I'm assuming that might be.
I was leading that one.
David, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I got all your feedback from last meeting. I don't think I have any more action items for the committee at the moment. I'll just work with Chelsea on putting the survey together, and then the plan is to go live early next year.
Awesome.
Perfect. It's on my list.
Okay, cool. Great, guys. Okay, so the decorations for the empty storefronts on Lakeshore Drive. So is that for the Christmas or is that,
Oh, we got this 1 second.
oh, did I miss one?
I think Stephanie brought that
Sorry.
one. No,
Sorry, first off, I skipped one, sorry. Discussion of the creative contest on the event promotional budget.
That one, I think we can table that for now. We talked about it last week. I actually think one of my future agenda items could potentially have this roll into it. So we can talk about it later.
Okay, so we want to move that to the next meeting or January meeting?
I think we can take it off at the moment.
Just take it off?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so now, update on the decorating of the empty storefronts on Lakeshore Drive. So was that for the Christmas, or is that just to do the
Well, I thought that the city was going to take the lead and do something, come up with something on this. We talked about it, and there, as I said, there used to be two gals. Linda Kelly comes to mind, and I cannot remember the other person's name, who used to actually go around and and they would contact, and I don't know if it was through like the city of Lakeport or whatever, or Kelseyville, whether they would get a hold of the owners of the empty storefronts and talk to them about putting art in the storefronts, so that when you drove down the street, and certainly with our parades coming up and with the holidays, we could certainly decorate those, kind of do the decorating for the holidays, but it would be nice to have those storefronts look like at least something interesting to see when you're driving by.
something interesting to see.
Yeah.
yeah, we did talk about that.
Instead of, you know, like just sheets, or not even sheets. I mean, it's usually just paper in the window, if that. Sometimes there's nothing in the window.
I think we were talking about doing like a picture or like a few Lake County ones in general. So you could still sort of see in, but it has like, you know, here's Lake County.
Yeah, we had talked about doing some of the art that was in the contest.
Right.
That's
right.
So
And I think Dirk was mentioning sizes or something too about windows. I had something in my notes about Dirk looking into it. So maybe.
we'd have to see what size windows they are and determine what size things. Another thing we could do, it's really going to be up to the owners. I've tried to get a hold of a few of them, but never did get a response, you know, from them because, oh, let's see, they don't live in town necessarily. So I know next door here to the city, I talked to Dave Hughes about that one. And of course, they're willing to let us, you know, make anything look nice there. So they're willing to let us put something up there, which might not be a bad idea to do first. And I was thinking that if we could get some of this art that we already have submitted, that maybe we can hang it in the windows. And even if we just took some colored paint to kind of match the whatever picture we put up, to kind of go around to make it stand out, and not necessarily where they can, you know, per se, look inside the empty building and see a bunch of.
I was even thinking about like having a backdrop, so you don't see into the whole building. You just see like the window, and maybe like have curtains, a curtain, either or folding screens, something to hide the rest of the store, so that it really does look like a store window, as opposed to seeing into the whole thing being empty.
Well, I'm thinking like you just get the water paints and like you put a picture up and then you kind of match the colors around it kind of a decorative, around that so that it
Uh-huh.
is closed where you can't see in the building, but it still sets the picture off. I'm sure we can get some
Yeah.
advice from some of our artists that we have on how we might be able to do that. Bruno, you had something?
I think this is a great idea. I know it was discussed last time, and I would suggest that we do a subcommittee to get it moving forward. And I think that each store is going to be slightly different because each owner is going to say yes to different things. And so I think that while the ideas are good, it's going to really end up as to what the owners are willing to do. And I think that, Joyce, your idea of contacting David Hughes for that one is a great idea because it's right next to City Hall. And it could be a presentation of this is what we can do with the other stuff by maybe using that as a pilot one to get everyone else to fall in line and doing the same thing. But I would suggest to do it as a subcommittee, those that are interested in making that happen. And I'm absolutely in favor of doing that. Yes, let's pretty it up as much as we can.
Okay, so yeah, so I mean, I'd love to be on that committee and maybe we, like you said, I could talk to David, maybe we could do a thing and take a picture of it and then go around to the other, or send it to the other people, however we have to contact them and say, here's what we did with this business. We'd love to do this to yours, So anybody else want to help with that?
I can run around to businesses too. I'm on board, Chelsea.
Okay, Chelsea.
I can be part of that as well.
Mhm.
All right. Because it may be that we need somebody to make like phone calls and stuff to some of these businesses. I've tried to contact some, but just never got a very good response. And then, sorry, I got tied up with work and I dropped the ball. I'm not going to say I did it. I dropped the ball. So, okay. So then we'll get together and see if we can get some addresses and phone numbers off the, we'll probably get that from the city off there.
We don't have phone numbers, but we have addresses.
Addresses. Okay. So.
I can send out letters and stuff too, because I have the whole office set up. So it'd probably just take me a short moment to do it and
Okay.
see who contacts us.
And
Okay.
I remember last month Dirk was really interested in this project because
Yeah.
art's one thing, but he also wanted to fill those vacancies. So as part of this outreach, let's figure out, what their lease rate is, what, a few more details so that not only can we help them make it pretty, but we can also potentially help them fill some of the empty spots.
Yeah, I like that idea. I really like that idea. Bruno, you had something to say?
I was going to say if we can update the agenda for it to just say update of creative content or sorry, update of decorating. That way we no longer need oh, it already says update. Never mind. I'm an idiot.
It's like, okay, it's okay.
Just scratch off update and rewrite update.
Put it in a different color.
Sorry.
Okay. So maybe you're right. I like the idea of finding out like what can we have in these places and how much is their square footage and maybe help them get them occupied. I like that idea a lot. While we're contacting them, we can just say, we'd like to get some information for you. And here's what we'd like to do to make your place look nice and appealing to the communities while we do that. So that's a great idea. So we'll contact that, and I'll talk to Dirk too if he wants to be involved. He can, we can all be involved. The more the merrier. So, okay. All right. Anything else on that? No, I'm assuming. Do we have any public people?
Yep, we have 4.
Just us.
Is there anybody from the public that would like to comment on this?
If you're on the Zoom, raise your hand.
Oh, it is not just us.
Okay, it looks like we have Vicky Crystal.
Okay.
Go ahead, Vicky. You have to unmute yourself. Yeah, there you go.
Hi, I just wanted to say that I just was able to get in on this, but I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about. And I think it's a wonderful idea. I've seen it done in other places, and kudos to whoever, put this on the agenda. And I know it was probably all of you, but the other thing I wanted to say is you can't be eating every time you're on Zoom, Bruno. I'm teasing. I don't care.
I'm a growing boy.
And he's got another meetings today, huh, Bruno?
Eating in every one.
No, he wasn't eating at the last one. He probably was drinking coffee though.
he was at ours too. Anyway.
That's the good thing about Zoom. You can pretty much do whatever you want. So,
Thank you. Guys.
If my
okay.
camera's off,
Anybody
I'm
else?
probably folding laundry.
Oh, come do mine. Yeah.
Okay, anybody else from the public that would like to speak on this?
How do I lower my hand?
How do you lower your hand? We'll
How do
lower
I
it.
Got it.
We got you.
Thanks.
Okay, all right. So let's move on then to the update on the installation of the public art fish display. Who was,
So quick question on that one. Has the city, I thought we had some discussions here about the locations. Because I called the Rural Arts Initiative yesterday to get an update on what's going on. And it seems that right now the holdup is they want to know the exact locations to understand how the base needs to be built to make sure that it's going to sit correctly wherever it's going to be located. If that's not complete, again, same deal. I think we need a little bit of a subcommittee to go out and find out this information and take some pictures and send them off. I told them that I want all these fish installed by no later than Memorial Day weekend, because I want those fish to be installed by our first big opening of the lake, which is typically Memorial Day weekend. They said no problem, but they need to have those locations. And so I don't know if we want to rediscuss it. If it's been discussed, let's get those locations down and send that off to Rural Arts Initiative. Again, there's 3 wooden ones that will be designed and dressed up, and then there's 1 metal one that will be created. And so I have ideas of where those locations are, but it's not a unilateral decision. It's a group decision of where we would like those to be.
okay.
Melissa, it seems to me that we discussed it at length. I want to say probably 2 meetings ago, because I remember there was going to be one for sure at Austin, at all
Okay.
3 places. At Austin, definitely Redbud, and we asked for one at Highlands Park because there's so much fishing there, not so much boat wise, but right off of the wall there.
Right, and I agree, we did talk about it, and I thought that Alan we kind of talked about where Redbud was.
There were just the 2 spots. Yeah, Redbud and Highlands Park. I think we were gonna
Redbud, Highlands, and we were gonna have one at Austin, we just hadn't decided on that one, I
the
think.
spots. Yeah, and even
Does
with
it
Highlands,
show
we said we had to
anything?
walk it.
Yeah. So maybe
From
that,
a couple of months ago?
well, I don't have the minutes to the meetings from a couple of months ago,
Oh,
but
let me look and
I think
see.
it was David or Bruno, maybe Alan. Someone had pulled up the map, and then we went between all the areas, and the only ones that we were sort of questioning were Highlands and Austin. And I know that for Redbud, we had said the one island over by the restrooms, and I think we were talking about having the committee go out and just double check that those areas are the spots and they'll work, because even though it looks good on the map, we should just make sure visual wise.
That is not sloped.
yeah, so maybe, how about this? How about the ones, if we go out and look for the, will we have time when we do for the picture frame? Can we kind of take a walk? Maybe we can take a walk around and just let Melissa know, and she can email the committee and say, these are our thoughts on the spots. And if we have to have a special meeting to get it moving, we do. If it'll wait till next month. Are we gonna have one next month, a meeting?
I think so. I'm pretty sure Alan has final,
Yeah, because I thought Alan,
the final locations on
yeah, I
those.
thought he did that.
Yeah.
But he's not, at this
Yeah.
meeting right now. So I'll check in with him after the meeting, and I'm pretty sure those have been finalized, but I'll double check.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's
if
what I
then
thought.
they're, I'll just email everyone. Just don't reply all to me.
Please.
Yeah.
And I mean no offense, but I was told that they were waiting on Clearlake, and I said, don't wait on Clearlake. You need to tell us if you're waiting on us. Don't just wait for us to respond to you. There's so much going on. Just let us know. So there's no need to, they're ready to go. So we need to just get them that information, and then we'll get the end result, which I really am looking forward to.
But I'm pretty sure, Alan, because I'm pretty sure he said that, yeah, we had this, he was pretty sure about where the spots were gonna be, so we'll talk
Good.
to him and we'll get back. So, because if we need to get it to him, then we'll get it to him, so. Okay, anything else on that? Anything from the public on that, we're placing our fish at for our public art fish displays?
They don't really know what our fish looks like.
So, okay.
Let me see if I could find it on my computer here real quick.
Yeah.
So awesome looking.
In case there's anybody from the public that hasn't been at our meetings because of all of this, we're looking to do, we have fish that we're having artists do, and we're placing them in different locations throughout Clearlake. The spots so far are Redbud Park, Highlands Park, and Austin Park. We had 2 more to place somewhere, right? And then we have
One more, I think.
One more,
There's a
okay.
total of 4.
4. So one
at
more,
3 parks.
and then 1 more to place in an area that has not been, I don't think, decided yet. So that's what we've been talking about over several months now. And we have one that's almost done, right, Bruno? Is it?
All 3 wooden ones are carved, but now they're being designed and made pretty,
Yeah, so.
even though
Okay.
they're already beautiful.
Yeah. So, okay, so no public comment? All right, then we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next one. Update events, including marketing of future events. So, I guess we want to discuss what we're gonna be doing for this next year on our different events that we normally have and how we're gonna do those this next year.
Would it
We
be possible to
could-
talk about Christmas parade first?
Yeah, since that's the next one. First off, I want to say, you know, I really thank Bruno and Tina and Melissa for helping make the trunk or treat really successful.
And David.
Everybody had a great time. Everybody said they'd come back. Nothing but positive comments about the whole event. The only thing personally I missed was that we normally provide food, and you know, so I'm hoping next year that we can you know, do that like we used to do. That everybody loved the band. They thought the band was great. So I appreciate Joel Moore put that together for us. And they actually, only one of them lived here. The rest of them came from Sonoma County, which I didn't know. Otherwise, I might have taken a donation for their gas money at least. So, but it turned out really good. And I was very happy with it, and everybody loved it. So thank you guys for really helping put that together and getting that candy, Bruno. That was awesome. So that really made it even better. So I appreciate that. So yeah, our next event is going to be the Christmas parade. So I guess we need to discuss how that's going to happen this year. Oops.
That's Chelsea.
So Chelsea, Miss Chelsea.
Yeah, so I started sending out the forms to a few people. Sorry if you hear dogs barking in the background. My dogs just started freaking out. Oh, Zoom. Anyhow, so for the parades, I started I sent out the parade form information. I've been letting people know we're going to social distance. People have been wondering what the city's going to be doing for like Austin Park, what's happening this year, if there's going to be a visit with Santa. And I told them there would be updates as of this week for that. But I think we're going to be doing the social distancing of the parade. You know, everyone's going to be in the cars just like they were for 4th of July, like we all agreed last meeting. So that's why I went forward with getting the information out for Deck Out Clearlake and for the parade. I just went ahead and gave out the information just so we could start getting it moved along. There are a lot of businesses that are prepared to start ASAP, like the week of Thanksgiving, like literally next Wednesday to right after. And they all know that they need to be done by Saturday for the Saturday the 5th by 4:00 because the parade's going to start at 4:30, you know, the lineup. And everyone's super excited about that. I've only had 2 people be a little frustrated, but I think that was because they're usually more involved with like the 4th of July parade. But, you know, I just let them know, you know, at the beginning, we were trying to figure out COVID. Now with, you know, having trunk or treat and working more on these and seeing what we can do, you know, for our district and for Gary Pace, you know, everyone we already worked that out. So I don't know what you are all thinking for the downtown Austin area. Are we going to be wanting to light up a tree this year? Have Mr. and Mrs. Claus sit there and not let anyone touch them, not have them. I at least want Denise and Peter are going to go through the parade. I already have that signed up with Willie. So they just need to get picked up by the fire department. But that's where we need to figure it out because, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Claus want to know if they're going to the fire department or if they're going to Austin Park so they know where to park. But that's about it for now. I know that the Lioness or Lions Club is on board to do hot cocoa if we decide to go with hot cocoa. I don't know, maybe we could just do a little mailbox that says to the North Pole, and then maybe the kids can just do their own personal notes. I don't know how you all feel, or letters, I shouldn't say notes, sorry. But that's where I'm at for all of this.
Okay, so we're supposed to be having a tree. We're supposed to be ordering one. So I'll have to talk to Tina.
You're gonna order one? Okay.
My question involves security. Because I believe, if I'm correct, that the intention is that people will be parked alongside the street and watching the parade go by. Is everybody facing the same direction? Is everybody facing in the normal street direction of going both ways? And I know I'm using my worst case scenario, but typically we block all vehicles from being there because there's some people in the parade that might be walking. And if a car decides to just, hey, we got to go, we have an emergency, how do we handle? So I'd love to get Andrew involved in helping us understand what would be the best and safest way to make this happen.
That was my question to Chelsea, if you've talked with Andrew about the plan for the parade or anything like that. Have you put in the permit?
No, because I was waiting for you guys. So that's why I haven't really moved forward. I was just giving people the form and told them it's up in the air. So at least just getting it out there. And then I just let them know the city will be contacting, or not you guys, but I said, I'm going to be getting in contact. I'm talking with the city this week and I will be contacting people. So it's, no one's really turned anything in yet. I just made it very clear. Deck Out Clearlake is 100% go. The parade, the city and I are working together. So I will let you know if there are any changes. So all I've done is just given them the form. So at least they have it. So no one can be like, I don't have anything to fill out. So that's where this meeting is at today, because I don't know. I've been told to contact the police, but I don't know what you guys want to do for Austin Park or how this has worked in the past. You told me we're not going to have extra security, like you guys didn't have extra security. So that's the only area I'm at for the parade. I hope we can still swing it. If you guys feel like we need to hold off again this year too, it's all up to you. I just made it very clear to everyone that Deck Out Clearlake is the only thing that is 100%. So I know that there's people going around trying to spread rumors and stuff that we may be doing the parade. And that's just how I said it to them. We are pushing to do the parade, but if anything changes, that's just how it's going. It's COVID. But Deck Out Clearlake is a must because it's all storefronts and we're going to have our judging panel. And just like the David, I don't know if he's bringing it up this meeting. He probably will. I don't have the agenda. Is it on the agenda, David? Sorry, but for the residential.
I'll just do that after you guys.
Okay. Yeah.
Full as thunder.
Okay, good. But I think that's great. So at least those are the two big things we can really do, is like making sure the residents and the businesses are really decked out in lights and Christmas and stuff. But yes, I agree. That's where I'm at for the parade. I need the security side. And I have not moved forward with anything. I haven't done the permit or anything because I want this whole marketing committee in the city to be like, hey, in the district, Bruno, everyone to be like, this is what we're doing, or we're not really feeling safe. You know what? We'd love to do it, but we can't.
And I somewhere along the line, I think that we missed the boat. Chelsea, you and I had talked about this. Cars would not be driven on the street and parked.
Right.
People would be just like they do for every other parade. They would have a marked off spot for family X. Whoever gets there first, that's their spot. And it would be either chalk or it would be tape. And it would be the city, parks department or whatever that puts those 6 feet apart, just like in the grocery stores. And that's the way it is, that all along Lakeshore, and there should not be a problem with that. People would walk just like they have for years They park their car someplace else and they walk to the street, to wherever it is that they can find a place to see the parade. So there should be no problem with everybody's got a mask on, everybody's distancing. Families are going to sit together as they always do. I know from years of watching the parades, boy, somebody better go early and get your spots or you lose a spot. So anyway, that's
Okay,
what I
Melissa.
thought. I didn't think there was going to be any cars other than the parade participants.
All right. So Melissa's got something to say here.
Well, I don't feel that our public works is going to be able to commit to be able to do that. I mean, I think that's, that's a great idea if that's what the chamber wants to do. I don't know that I'd be able to, speak for public works and their crew
Okay.
in order to be able to, that's a long distance. I mean, that's a very long distance. And I just don't know what their workload is right now.
Yeah, that's why I suggested the
personally think-
cars, parking cars, because that's what they did for 4th of July, and it was more in one area. But now I see with you bringing up that people may have emergencies or drive off. And this is why we have committees and groups, because I'm like, oh, duh, why didn't that dawn on you? You're just excited about the parade going through.
Okay, so we have this parade every year. It is never pretty much. It's not like the 4th of July. It's not like packed like the 4th of July is. It's not even begin to be that many people. People normally are sitting in their cars because it's normally cold.
Mm-hmm.
Very few people are going to be outside. I think we just move on as normal and just stress this. I think everybody's used to social distancing and masks. I just don't think that's really going to be our problem. I think most people are going to be in their cars. And if they're not in their cars, they're going to be standing by their cars like they do any other year. So I just don't think that we're going to have to mark off. We just stress the social distancing and the masks and just, I think, go on as usual. It's more once it gets to the park that I worry about.
The park is usually where everybody is.
So, I mean, I love the idea that we might be able to still do hot chocolate. And I think we can kind of do like we did with the trunk or treat. We proved we can do thousands of people and stay social distancing. I think it was great. Everybody knows that. So, I mean, I'd love to be able to still do the hot chocolate and stuff. I don't know about the Santa Claus. And I think if you have Santa Claus at the park, the kids are going to want to sit on Santa Claus's lap. So
Right. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I think that if we're going to do anything, we're supposed to be getting a big tree. I don't know what's happened with that. I'll have to talk to Alan and Tina. We're supposed to be getting a big tree. We were going to purchase one and have it brought in. And it might be good that that's the night we light the tree, that we have hot chocolate and light the tree instead of hot chocolate and Santa Claus. So it's a thought. That way there's still a tree lighting. There's still something for people to do. If the Lions are willing to do the hot chocolate still, and still have kind of a Christmas thing with, we just got to start getting, kind of out in society. And I think we're all used to this stuff now. So I think as long as, I don't think it's a good idea to have Santa Claus there though, because they're going to want, they don't understand.
Right.
They don't, exactly. So that's why, and that's all I thought for the parade. We'll just have Mr. and Mrs. Claus in the fire truck. They'll keep going. Parade will finish up. Everyone could park at Austin Park or go wherever they go. My small towns, we do very similar. Where I grew up in Guerneville and Forestville, most of the people just stand on the street, and it's definitely maybe an eighth of the amount that usually is happening during summer, because it's same for here. It's more local than it is summer folk coming up, and, so I am down to make sure it's all organized as long as the police department is on board and you guys are on board. But if everyone does not feel 100% comfortable with this, I want to make sure everyone's okay. It's not something we have to absolutely, I'd love to push it because it's Christmas and we need to, but at least we have the deck out Clearlake for businesses and for residents. And I love that, which I know David's going to bring up. I love that too. So it's, at least we have that community and the tree lighting and maybe hot cocoa if we can't swing the parade. I really hope we can, but it's I'll just talk to Andrew, and I don't know if someone wanted to go with me since I haven't done it or what I should do for that.
If you want to give me a call, Chelsea, I can go with you.
Okay. And yeah, because that's the only thing, but I don't know how you guys are all feeling about it. Let me know. what everyone's thoughts are for the parade.
Hey,
Are you
Chelsea,
at
have you talked-
50%?
What's the board's thoughts, the chamber's board thoughts? Did you discuss it?
Yeah, we talked about it last week and everyone's on board. Alvaro, who's with the Lions, he said that he had actually talked to them about doing hot cocoa because everyone had already just brought it up in general. And they just said, I don't know what you guys are doing, but we're on board to be at Austin Park to do hot cocoa for the kids if the city says you guys are go. And I know Peter and Denise said they'd both be down at Austin Park, for Mr. and Mrs. Claus, and they wouldn't mind, but I don't think that would be very encouraging. As we were talking about before, we were trying to wait to see what like all the malls and public people were going to do, but no one's really made too much of a movement yet because we're not there. So, and we do our parade at the beginning of December, not the end. So that makes it hard for us. But I think as long as we can give them the magic of just seeing Mr. and Mrs. Claus, at least, that would be great.
like
But
the
if
idea where
not, we
there's a
still have
box.
the magical tree.
I like where there's that they can, where you have where they maybe a table where they can write their letter to Santa Claus, or we can encourage them to bring it and have a mailbox. I like that idea.
Right. So even if we can't do the parade, maybe we'll just make sure everything needs to be decorated by the 5th. And then that could be like the tree decorating, like the light up day and hot cocoa. If we can't do the parade, but if we can, then parade and then hot cocoa, the same thing after. And then they could have the letter station. They could probably start it before the parade if we do it, or whatever you guys want.
I think that the public should know.
Let Bruno's turn next, please.
So I'm going to play a little bit of a devil's advocate, and in Trunk or Treat, it was easy because we were able to constantly communicate with the crowd.
Yeah, it's one area.
And I think that while, yes, that line went on forever and forever, and I would like to think that they could hear me because I have a very loud voice. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they just followed what everyone else in front of them was doing. But the people in front eventually was hearing what the directions were, which was to stay socially distanced and so on. I also agree that we've been learning to do this everywhere we go. You go in a grocery store, you go anywhere, post office, you're going to have to follow those same rules. But down the entire street and at the park, it's a more difficult because it's so centralized on the road, not the entire park that we have to use. So exactly. I would suggest let's talk to Andrew and see if we can get the cars on Lakeshore Drive. And if we can, I think that's the easiest and really truly the safest way so that it doesn't have a negative impact where it sends us into a purple state where it ends up backfiring and our schools are impacted by not being able to open more, which that is kind of nonsense because they already have the ability to open if they want to. It's just an issue of with COVID out there that they're nervous to do so and their teachers are nervous to do so.
Exactly.
And so I think that let's look to see what Andrew says before we make a final decision, because I don't think it's with the normal way, but at the park, I'm concerned because we're not utilizing the whole park. So that's my devil's advocate of safety. On the other side, I think we should have Santa Claus. And we should put some sort of guardrail so they don't just all jump on Santa Claus's lap and Mrs. Claus's lap, but do exactly what Chelsea said, which is bring a letter and let's respond to those letters. Let's actually make it an interaction where they submit something and I will donate my money. If 100 kids drop a letter, that's $35, or I guess now it's $55. I'm sorry. I haven't sent a letter in a while. I don't pay attention. But it's not going to be that much, right? Even if it's 250 letters or 500 letters, we're not talking about enormous amount. I will donate the money to pay for the stamp to return the letters, and I will work with whoever else wants to work with me on responding to those letters. And I think that's a pretty cool way to make it work where it has a similar thing than sitting on Santa's lap. At least you got to see Santa and Mrs. Claus, and then you got to have some sort of interaction with Santa and Mrs. Claus. And so I think that if we create the protection mechanisms that can be done, and I think the kids would love that.
They do have programs too, by the way, Bruno, where you can send it directly to that address and they'll actually have like an authentic letter from Santa Claus. They do the same thing in Disneyland. So I can look into that also. I mean, it would be good for us to have something very connected to our community, but they do have that where it's like a hand. Yeah.
I don't know if I can afford the Disneyland app, but something
So
like that. Yes.
Well, it's not the Disneyland app, but I did it when I was even a little girl. I did it back in the 90s. You can send your letter to your favorite princess, and then she'll send you a little autograph and blah blah blah, whatever. They still do it, and they do it with Santa Claus. My cousin does it with her kids, and so they receive a letter like 2 days after saying thank you for being a good kid, and I'm happy you got everything you wanted.
Okay, Stephanie?
Well, I'd just like to say that Rotary does a Christmas dinner, and we've been working on it for weeks now, months actually. And it's going to be, it's at the Austin Park area. We are definitely not having Santa Claus because kids, they don't understand that they can't sit on Santa's lap. So I think we should just, they can wave at Santa, and if anything, the announcer says, oh my gosh, Santa just got a call. He's got to get back to the North Pole, something, whatever. And then we can still follow up with, please put your, and we can come up with a nice big mailbox. Please put your Christmas letter in. And we need to get out the word that the kids need to send a Christmas letter, that they need to bring a Christmas letter with them. I just think that we're setting up for I think that's just asking too much of I know that the Lustelos are willing to do it, but I think it's sending the wrong message because the kids are used to not being in school. Nothing is the same. So I certainly think that Santa Claus, and you're not going to see Santa in malls or anything else, I don't think, this year. I think it's just going to be a different year. And so I think that we should handle it that way and not, because kids are just, especially the kids that still believe in Santa. I just think it would be devastating to have them there, but you can't come near them. I think that's the wrong message, but that's just my thing.
I kind of agree with that because, the little kids, they'll be screaming and crying and throwing a fit, and their parents aren't going to know what to really say to them and stuff.
Yeah.
I think even if we could get maybe Santa Claus, if we could get them to maybe go around the park a couple of times and wave, and then, then like you said, Santa Claus has got to go because he's got to deliver your presents. So, wave goodbye, but make sure you leave your letters in the box.
Exactly, Joyce. Yeah.
I agree. I think the smaller kids, especially, I just picture in my head, my kids screaming, I want to sit on Santa Claus's lap, and and then that's kind of what they remember. That's the part of, unfortunately, that's the part of Christmas they'll remember. So I think if we just let Santa Claus go around the park maybe a few times, if we can talk to the fire department and just kind of driving around the park a couple of times, waving at the kids and everything, having them say, don't forget to leave your letters, but I have to go deliver presents,
Yeah.
I have to go get ready for Christmas. My elves are calling me, so, I think that's would be better. I agree that I think it was going to become very turmoil to the children if they can't sit on Santa Claus's lap.
And I hope we can.
I would not take my granddaughter there if she couldn't sit on his lap. So.
And I still hope we can do the parade, but say we can't. This would be another thing to do. What if we did the Christmas tree lighting? Again, I don't know, hot cocoa's up in the air. The little letter set up, and then we would have like the little, I don't know if we have a big chair that you guys use in the past for Santa Claus or what. I know that Forestville, they have this big green, the fire department has it. And the fire chief sits down because he's Santa. But what if we did something like that, and it could be, like empty, as if he was to sit there. And then, like you said, he could drive around the park, so at least the kids could see him a few times on the fire truck. And then someone could announce, oh, Santa just got a call. He's got to go. Make sure you drop your letters, enjoy the lights. And then at least we would have something small to kick off December. So it could also be, I already have it. So everyone's getting ready to have their places all set up for the parade, which doesn't, even if it doesn't go, at least we will be ready and decked out and Christmassy for whatever we decide to do that Saturday just to kick off Christmas. So if we do something simple like that, it wouldn't even be too rough, because then, like we all know, they're doing the social distance thing. So I will talk to Andrew White about what he's thinking. Maybe he has some idea for the whole Santa thing too. Maybe they're thinking about stuff, or they've heard other things about the public. I'm going to ask them about that. I don't know, but what do you guys think? I feel realistically that even if we just did something just at the park for the tree lighting and the drop letter, and then drive around the park with the fire truck at least, and then that could be something where people could just relax and say, hey, now go out and enjoy with your family, drive around, look at the lights everywhere in town. And that's it. Maybe take your cocoa and then go drive around and enjoy the lights and have a good evening.
Bruno?
Just two things. Dr. Pace on Tuesday yesterday, and I just found it here online.
Okay.
The latest research, and granted, I'm not saying kids on laps of Santa Claus, because I think that would be just bad, and not only in perception, but in actuality, it would just not be the right thing to do. But that they're finding that schools are not super spreaders, especially in the younger kids, not in the older kids. And it's become a worldwide study, and they're not seeing that. So I'm not too concerned about it. That is just the latest research that has come out. That doesn't mean that there's not new research coming out in 6 months that might say the opposite. But I also think that this needs to, right away, we need to create a subcommittee, because we're not going to figure all of this out today, and we are only meeting again next month. And at that point, it's done. And so I think we need to create a subcommittee, because we're not going to build this event here.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
And happy to help any way that I can.
All right.
Yeah, and I just wanted all your opinions on it, because it's such a weird time with this event and what's coming up. And I was like, I know the parade's up in there, the lights are a must-have. So it's good to hear everyone's opinion on this. So is anyone wanting to be on the subcommittee? I am, of course.
I'd like to be aware
Bruno?
so I can help push it out.
Oh, yes, of course. David, aware. Okay.
And I could do the same thing that we did to start off our trunk or treat meetings, was to meet with Dr. Pace and just kind of he's never going to say yes, but he's also sometimes not going to say no. And he didn't say no to trunk or treat. He shared his concerns and shared some ideas. But I think it's always helpful to kind of get a glimpse through the public health eye as to what's appropriate, what's not.
Yeah, so I've been wanting to connect with him, and I wanted to see how you guys all felt about that first. So did you want to try to talk to him, or did you want me to join that meeting also? If you're able, just let me know, and I could or you already heard everything, so it's up to you.
I would say that I don't want to be alone in that conversation. I think it needs to be the group mind that is going through the questions and the possibilities. So just tell me when you all want to meet with them, and I'll just make that meeting happen and let him know when. Actually, it'll be more of when he's available. He's probably busy together, but yeah, we can make it happen.
So I'll just start an email. So as of right now, I just have Bruno, David, and I. Was there anyone else that wanted to be a part of the subcommittee? Okay, because I know I have Steph. I'm always bugging her,
I think I saw Tina raising her hand.
Oh, that's what I get. Sorry, I'm doing the phone and it's.
No, she's not on here.
No, she's not on it. She's not on it. She's just throwing her in. But I am going to talk to Tina after this meeting. Is she here?
I talked to Tina. Okay, good. I've never used the phone Zoom, and it's not switching between the people. So I'm like, oh, is someone on here that I don't see? Okay, good.
So, but
oh,
yeah.
Bruno, always pulling over on me, huh?
So here, I my thought on steps is talk to Gary Pace immediately. I don't see personally, I don't see where we can't do the parade. And then talk to Andrew about it. Like I said, most people aren't like hanging out on the streets and stuff. They're normally in their own little family groups. That's what it's all about. And then we need to get moving forward. So
and then we'll just bring it back to Melissa and Tina to see what else we need, if we need public works for anything, and then what we need to do for Andrew.
I think the starting point for that would be the application. Once you get
I have that ready for you. Now you bring in the permit fee. So I told you I'd come in tomorrow. Just wanted to check with everyone first and see before I start doing some unnecessary paperwork for all of us.
Basically, what public is going to do is close off the streets that we need closed, and that's going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to
exactly
be in the
And as
proceed.
far as
Oh
I'm
yeah, I
concerned,
just know that I don't need to talk to them, but I just need to make sure that Public Works and the police, they have everything set up that they need for that, which Tina and Melissa said that I can get them. So, all right, that's it.
as far as I'm concerned, it will happen. It's a matter of the logistics of how it
Right.
happens.
I
Yes.
agree. This is something that's gonna happen. It's just how are we gonna put it together? So,
Yes.
okay, so I'm gonna assume that Bruno, you're gonna try to make that meeting happen with Gary Pace as soon as
Yeah.
possible. Just, and then we need to get right on to that, and then
Talk to Andrew
we
and then setting it up.
Yeah, talk to Andrew, and then like get it, because I mean we're only talking a few weeks here, so we're not talking like we
Oh
have.
yeah. And that's
So-
why I already have all the paperwork out for people who are going to sign up. They have a certain date to be ready. I just need to get our judges lined up, which shouldn't be too harsh. We have the whole setup for the judges. The trophy's already going to be made if we're going to do it. So I already have everyone set to the point where everyone's on the back burner. And then as soon as it's a green flag, it's going. It's not my first parade. I helped a lot with our small town ones, and it's very similar size to the city of Clearlake. We just now have to deal with COVID. So just want to check in with everyone. And I've never really had to do the whole police shutdown side of it, but I've done the whole organizing side. So I know everyone. I'm new, but don't worry.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to see if there's anybody from the public that's online still that has any comments to this agenda item. Raise your hand if you do.
There's Joan.
Okay, go ahead, Joan.
Please unmute.
yourself.
There you go.
Joan, you're on mute.
Did you send her an unmute?
Yeah, I allowed her to talk, so she just needs to unmute herself.
You can unmute sometimes by clicking on the speaker.
There she did.
Okay, there you go. Okay, Joe. Are you there?
Yeah, we can't hear you, Joan.
See, she can send a message.
Or maybe give her the phone number to call in. Oh, there it
Did
is.
you got me? Ah,
Yeah, we got you. Okay,
Learning.
go ahead.
okay. First off, Lakeshore Lioness has always donated the cookies. So if Lions is going to do the hot chocolate, we will gladly donate the cookies as well.
Awesome.
I am going to share with you that whatever you do, you need to do this pretty fast because you're talking the 18th of November. And if people are going to really get into decorating, they need a little time to purchase the items they're going to need to decorate, because my understanding is that supplies are going rapidly. And so, okay. And that was just my comment, is that I think when you look at what happened in other counties and the COVID going crazy after Halloween and all the wonderful organized events we had in Lake County, is why our numbers haven't gone skyrocketing. So something like this Christmas parade, as small or large as it can be very positive for the community. And I think it's something that you should jump on right away. And I agree, mailbox out front and not Santa. Being on school board, we have a lot of discussion. Matter of fact, Gary Pace is doing a presentation at our meeting tonight. So it's important that you realize that I think that we need to keep Santa's safe and the children safe. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, John. I agree.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anybody
Yes,
else?
and just a reminder, I have gotten all the information out for the deck out Clearlake and being prepared for the parade being on the back burner. So a lot of the people have already said they have previous parade decorations and similar for their businesses. So they said either way they're prepared. And I have been in touch with them because we do have access to extra decorations and checking if anyone needs anything. If anyone's glitching, sorry, my phone's been acting weird. It's gonna be coming next week. I see it acting funky. So that's me if anyone is looking at stuff. Anyhow, but yes, so decorations and even for the parade, I've already told businesses up and down Olympic and Lakeshore. I've gone into them myself Friday and yesterday and today. So everyone's pretty much covered except for Old 53. I just got to grab like those last 10. And all of them have already been emailed out. So it's just like a, precaution. I already have everything ready to move, as every event would be. So thank you. But we're definitely making sure everyone's got lots of Christmas stuff. And I know that David and who else was saying? Never mind. There are a few people are saying they have a lot of decorations, so we're good here in Clearlake.
Remember, I said I would bring all my decorations down to
Oh,
there.
that's right. That's right. I don't know why
You were
spaced
supposed to
that
get back to me, and I was going to bring them all down there. You could have them.
That's right. That's right. I was like, someone was
never
telling
returned a
me that
call.
they had just a lot. Sorry, it was Joyce.
Boxes and
Okay,
boxes
that
and
makes
boxes.
sense now. I was like spacing. I'm like, was it Joan? I'm like, no, Joan would have just said it right now when she was talking. Okay,
Okay.
so we're good.
Okay, so the understanding is you, Bruno, and David are gonna kind of work on this. Okay, I'll talk.
Yeah, so I'm gonna email tomorrow. We'll start a little email, and then we'll figure out when we can go talk to Dr. Pace, and then I'll talk to Andrew. Like this will all be like within probably tomorrow. I'll call Andrew and see what's going on if he has a moment to speak. So it's definitely gonna be a move within like boom boom.
And then since we're already here, we'll find out about the tree.
Woohoo!
See what's going to happen with that. So, okay. And so if this is all a go, the Lioness will provide the cookies. The Lakeshore Lions will provide the hot chocolate. And so I guess it's really just basing on us finding out if we can do this first and then just like moving forward. So,
yeah, just Dr. Pace. And then I got to do the permit with Tina or Melissa, and then we're good.
Permit in, right. That's essential. Permit. So.
Oh yeah, I just want to talk to everyone today first, and then I told her I'll see you Thursday as soon as we talk and we see what we want.
Okay. All right. So, So is there anything else, Bruno?
So on Friday, I'm going to be discussing with Mayor Kramer and Alan Flora about fishing tournaments. I'm going to recommend that either a subcommittee of the marketing committee be created dedicated to fishing tournaments, or that the city creates a fishing tournament standing committee that continuously attempts to gain more and more fishing tournaments. I just went to Lakeport over the weekend. Wild West was brought here when Patrick Prather was at the Clearlake Chamber. There was an in-between between Chelsea and Patrick where they kind of fizzled out and wasn't able to get the communication they needed to continue here. So they went to Lakeport. I went to go talk to them, and they want to be in Clearlake. They don't want to be in Lakeport. They had a really bad time in Lakeport. In fact, their docks disappeared the day they showed up for their tournaments in Lakeport. So we need to have a conversation. We met with FLW already. And there was another fishing tournament, I forget what the name was, that we also brought over from Canocti Vista, but people are upset with Canocti Vista, they're upset with Lakeport, and I want us to capitalize, especially on the multi-day fishing tournaments where they have to stay at a hotel somewhere, they have to eat somewhere. It's not just in at 5 a.m. and gone at 3 p.m. I think those are the ones that we need. So I'm going to talk to Alan and Russ Kramer about that just to see what their thoughts are. But I wanted you to all be alert that it might be something that becomes a part of your committee. But that'll be their decision, their decision and their choice, not mine.
Bruno, as you guys are talking, make sure you think about putting budget to that, because we're going to need marketing spend.
That's 100% a part of the conversation, because they're always looking for some sort of room comps. It's competitive to get them here, and they're always looking for the best deal because they're looking to make money too, not just have a fishing tournament.
I would love to be a part of whatever's going on, because I've already connected with 3 more tournament holders just from me working with Best Bass Tournament. I did go and talk to the FLW also while they were here, just to check in and give them information just in general. And even with Jimmy at Clearlake Bait and Tackle, the one thing he's noticed is with me coming in, people are just shocked that we just have information and that we actually encourage them to just be anywhere in Lake County in general. But even that we were there just to have the coffee and to make sure that there was ice because it was so hot, especially for the second event. And a lot of them only have so many water bottles. So I know that they were just so ecstatic to see that the chamber was helping out, because they said every other area that they've been to, from, I'm going to do name drops because we're together, Orville, all the way out to even Berryessa. I was talking to Duke, who does the Berryessa Bass Tournament, and he was like, I don't even feel comfortable with my own lake personally. I mean, especially now after the fire, but he's like, it's just amazing. One of them even joked, they said, can you come down to the Delta and show the chamber down there how to do things? I was like, well, I can come down and represent as the Clearlake chamber down there at the Delta. But yeah, I was just happy to hear little turnovers like that. Just hearing that people were not feeling invited at Orville or even the Delta just broke my heart, because we're all community people working together. And if you're coming into our area, even to fish, that's our big one. That's our big, bass capital. And they're very important. So even the little guys, they'd be like, hey, I want to go find something small for my wife real quick on the way out of town. I noticed they're going through Upper Lake. Hey, stop at the Mercantile. Just little things where you wouldn't think to have like a concierge or someone there. And most people around here think that our hotel concierge are being good, but I'm finding out quite a few of them are just tired, even now from COVID, and are still trying to just sort of slow down and let people just come in and go. We have to realize that even if they're business people or fishermen, they're even going to come in here for just a sandwich. It doesn't matter what they come for. These people actually are wanting to come and spend more. And Jimmy told me that his sales actually went up by 4% during the first fishing tournament than what he had seen from last year. I'm not saying that's because of me, but you never know. So it's really good that we're pushing it more, and they are noticing this, because some of them even notice some of the private clubs or whatever you call them for the fishing. Some of them are not signing up for permits, and they're noticing that. And they're like, why am I trying to do the right thing for the city and our county, but yet these guys are able to weasel in over here? So I have contacted Alan and I don't remember if it was Tina or Melissa at the time. And even Jimmy has told me a few times. So these are things that I point out because we want to make sure we have that continual good connection with these companies, especially because they're big mom and pops that are just bringing things in, especially if they're going to bring FLW. They're really important. But even if we got the little guys, they're going to make it to the FLW, and they're going to remember what we did 10 years from now.
So
That's it.
I guess
Sorry, I was rambling. I've been wanting to speak my piece on that for a minute.
So let's kind of wrap this up. So I agree. I think a subcommittee for the fishing tournaments to help out and kind of push that. So I guess everybody can kind of think. And subcommittees don't have to be us. There might be other people that we can bring in to also help on these types of committees. So think about, if it's not you, if there's somebody that might be good on the committee, and maybe bring that back at our next meeting. So bring that back. Think about if you want to be on a committee, or what, so that we can get it kind of put together before the end of the year, because before we know it, bass fishing tournaments it'll be that time. So but I think that we can think about that for a month and determine that on our next meeting. So, okay. Anything else?
Yeah, I have one thing. Melissa, can you allow me to share screen?
Your hair is different, David.
Oh, it's flowing. It's beautiful.
It's flowing.
I haven't had a haircut in a little while, and
and your energy is so much lower than Halloween.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, give me 1 second on how I do that. I guess
you were like 200 yards from me, but I could still hear you loud and clear. Yeah.
It was good. The kids loved it.
Half the kids loved it. Half the kids are scared, which, it works. Yeah, that worked, Melissa. Thank you.
Okay.
So no action items for anyone. Zabdinira brought this idea to me a couple of weeks ago. We briefed the chamber on it. Essentially, it is a residential decoration contest where it can really be handled all online. It's actually more of a content play for us on the marketing side. So Zabdi's leading the charge. The idea is to have folks sign up and submit their decorations, most likely through Downtown Clearlake. So that can either be upload a photo or upload a video. Then we'll probably reduce it down to some finalists, get a share campaign going on social media, and then award some prizes. So right now the prizes are thought to be restaurant gift certificates, one, because they've really suffered over the last year or so, and two, it's a family thing. So what better way to help families out than to feed them a bit. So really all I need from you guys is, once the landing page is up and all the information is tight, which hopefully should be this weekend, just pass it around, share it, do what we need to do. It's a good timing as well, because we can package up a lot of our Christmas stuff together between the parade and this and the business decorations to really do a holiday blitz. So big thing is the deadline. We really extended it out. This is the first year we're doing it, so we want as much awareness as possible. So I think the deadline to register is December 20th, and we might even have voting extend through the end of the month, just to make sure everyone's covered. We noticed one thing with the Soapbox Derby is that, because it was on a very specific date, people didn't hear about it, but they really wish they were part of it. So this gives a kind of a burn time so that people will start passing it around and creating awareness virally. So that's it. Just when you see stuff come from me or from Downtown Clearlake or from the chamber, please share.
So is it going to be Downtown Clearlake Christmas something, or?
Oh, good question. It is called, I got to reshare because I got a great logo for it. A+ logo. The Clearlake Great Holiday Light Fight. So actually, Hidden Valley Lake does this, and I think that's where she got the idea, or that's where she stole some of the ideas from. So that is the branding, the Great Holiday Light Fight, because it's a competition and we want it to be fun.
Yeah. So we can always just remember that, Christmas is the first day of Christmas, not the last. There's 12 days of Christmas. So if we want to extend things because we're all on a short notice, we can say we're doing the 12 days of Christmas. Judging will be from December 25th to January 6th for the finalists. So just a thought. So yes, Miss Chelsea.
Yeah. So also for the HVL area, I don't know what we're thinking idea wise for it, but I know they do basically like a little sign with the number, and then you can just drive around. So I'm assuming it's going to be similar to that. Like they'd have like a big number or something on their front door.
Potentially. We didn't include that as a definite thing to do this year. One, because we haven't quite figured out the sharing of other people's addresses yet. Hidden Valley is obviously gated, a gated HOA community, so we don't want to send folks down bad roads and what have you.
Exactly. So doing it online makes more sense.
Yeah.
So having them submit, and then Bruno's in charge of getting us a drone. I think what we're going to do is for the finalists, capture some video, capture some photos really well, to present.
Awesome.
Quick question. Is this sponsored by the chamber? Just if I'm going to take part in something, I want to know that I'm providing my picture to someone I trust, to an entity I trust, rather than brand new. I think Downtown Clearlake is fairly available and known now. I mean, we got all the trunk or treat applications through that. I'm just kind of curious who who is being shown as the sponsor and who is promoting, who is the main promoter of the event. Because I love the event.
So during the chamber meeting, Alan volunteered to sponsor the prizes. I don't know if he and Zabdi have connected yet, but at the very least, I mean, usually as long as the city's okay with it, I like to.
It's the city of Clearlake. That's the sponsor.
Yep.
If Alan's paying for it, I'm good.
Yeah. I think it would work best that way too, because the residents of Clearlake connecting with the city of Clearlake. So the chamber, he was just telling us, saying, I'm going to bring this to the marketing committee. What do you guys think? And of course, we're like, this is amazing, because it's just like the business one. Let me know when you're going to use the drone, though. Maybe we'll try to sneak in some of the business ones too. If we've got some really big, flashy guys like Adventus, might be fun to see their whole entire building, you know? So I'll
Perfect.
bug you on that.
Thank you all.
Okay, so we have Vicky Crystal that would like to speak. Okay.
Go ahead, Vicky.
Just quickly, I think that's a great idea, David, and I like your title, except that, and I know I like it because it rhymes, but I'm thinking, can we change fight to challenge? I know it doesn't rhyme, but I'm tired of fighting, you know. And I don't.
It's Christmas.
They have a
Everybody
movie or
fights.
a show. They have a show called The Great Christmas Fight. And if you watch it, it's really big because they go all over from Minneapolis, Minnesota, all the way to Coeur d'Alene, where they have all of the giant Christmas trees on top of their giant resort over there.
Mhm.
So I think it's sort of interesting with the title. I like how it ties in, because I am very much a Christmas obsessed person, as you guys might be able to tell. And so they have that big Netflix show. So it's sort of interesting, because that's definitely going to sort of tie in with the, I don't want to say cheesiness, but festive connection.
So, oh no, Crystal,
It was just
no.
It's a good note, Vicky. I will let Zabdi know, who's really running point on this. I'll pass along your comment, and like I said, nothing's really finalized yet. So
Oh, exactly. I just had to say it's a good little connection. That was like, wait, it instantly made me think of that show and all the really big places. So, but we could change the challenge too. It would sound just fine. But I just had to throw it in there. Sorry, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It's a fight for the night. So,
Maybe
okay,
probably what
anybody
she
else in
had.
the public? Okay, so is there any other discussions that need to happen? Anybody else has anything to report? Bruno?
I just hope that next month, when we meet, that we can discuss next year's calendar of events, because I think it's important to be set up early in advance so that we can start and make sure to organize at the best time, rather than bring it up as they come.
Yes.
I would like to add on to that, and I was going to add this as an additional agenda item. That's great. I also think we should talk about what the goals are for this committee beyond just events for next year. I'm heavily involved in planning at my company right now, and this is the time to do it so that we can hit 2021 running.
Yes.
Stephanie, you had something?
Well, with Bruno, Bruno, will you email me and so we can get together and do our little walk on the beach?
Happy to do it.
Okay.
And then Melissa, Melissa's got something here.
I just wanted to mention, first of all, congratulations, David, on your election to the council, which will, as soon as it's certified, we'll seat you at the dais. But just
Which means
so
you're
the committee,
unseated from the
Yeah,
market.
it means I have to resign, huh? Darn it.
so yeah, I just wanted to make everyone aware that once that happens, that this committee's, the paradigm's going to change a bit, depending on which way the council wants to go, because the membership of this committee is 2 council members and, a member of the Chamber of Commerce, and then 2 members of the public, which obviously David was a member of the public. So once that happens, we can't have 3 council members on this committee, because then obviously it becomes a city council meeting. So I just want to make everyone aware that we're all on the same page, and as soon as that becomes effective, and it's anticipated that David, you'll be seated before the next meeting of this committee.
Yeah.
So that may have to change sooner rather than
I
later.
don't-
I don't know.
I doubt if you're going to be the person that's going to go from this committee. So
And he's still,
Saying
but he could,
anybody's going, anybody's leaving, but I'm just letting everybody know so that we're aware that this may, this is going
Yeah.
to change.
he could still come and be a guest at the meetings, though, could he
He
not?
can't speak. If he's not on and there's 2 other council members, he would not be allowed to speak.
You could simply,
He could listen,
Oh.
but he could not speak. So don't worry, we'll come to that bridge soon. So
Exactly. And I'm
Maybe
not-
he
I'm
can
not saying any
email
decision-
someone with his information.
Right, and just so everyone
Or-
is aware, on this committee level, if we have subcommittees, I can't have more than 2 of you on those subcommittees, just so you're aware that, and I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
everyone- So that was it for me.
yeah, I don't think they're just. I think that's got back off the line. So, okay, so, all right, so I think that's it. Anybody else have anything?
Real
We're all
quick,
done, everybody knows. So Bruno, you'll let us know.
Dr.
about
Pace,
walking,
yes.
Chelsea has
Oh,
something.
Chelsea, you had something else?
oh, I just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone because we won't see each other, and Project Christmas, let's get it going. Got this.
Okay. So, so as everybody got on, so Bruno, you'll get a hold of us about walking, when we can walk when you want to walk the lake and, find out where we want to put the fish and stuff. Is that correct?
Yeah, the picture frame, the fish,
And the
and
fish.
Dr. Pace.
Right. Okay, great. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, like I said, happy Thanksgiving. Everybody enjoy, be safe, and we'll be probably sending out some information to whoever's committees or what. And I'll let you know about the tree. I just asked Alan about it. He wasn't sure, so I'll find out about that and we'll see what we can do about getting that tree. All right.
It better be big.
It's supposed to have been. I thought it was already taken care of, so. So, okay. All right,
Bye,
guys.
everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.
Happy
Bye.
Thanksgiving.